What's up, guys? Your boys are back. I'm Ryan, my man George.
Yeah, what's shaking, guys? How you living out there, man? Shout out to the free thinkers, of course. Shout out to everybody out there rocking with the channel.
As always, guys, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Make sure it's set to all so you get all our videos as they drop. Up-and-coming artists, man, you know what to do, man. If you got a full song you want us to do, or if you want to be placed in front of one of our up-and-coming videos, we do about 60 seconds of your song. Either way, man, we can get you hooked up, man. Make sure you check out the information down below, and we'll get you taken care of. So, all right, man, so we're getting back to Lamb of God, man. Needs no introduction on this channel, man. Walk with me in hell. Yeah. That's the name of the song we're going to do today.
Yeah, just walk. Don't run.
Walk with me in hell. Yeah, that's a crazy title.
That do not sound like a good time to me.
No, it doesn't. It sounds like we're about to do some devious shit together.
So we've done what from Lamb of God? We've done Laid to Rest, Omerta, Ghost Walking, Red Knack, which is actually on our Patreon. So if you're interested in seeing that video, make sure you check out our Patreon. The information for that will be below. And we recently did Mastodon and Lamb of God. They did like a collaboration, Floods of Triton. And what I've always said about Lamb of God, man, is they do a good job at giving you good old-fashioned just metal. You know what I'm saying? It's just like when it comes to like modern bands, I feel like Lamb of God gives you that feeling of this is a actual real metal song. It's not like trying to not to say that there are other genres aren't real metal within the metal subgenre, but they give you that traditional, conventional metal sound modernized. I think they do that really well. And we've enjoyed some of the things we've done from Lamb of God. Not a band that's necessarily blown us away in terms of wanting to constantly revisit their music, but we always respect what they're able to do from a musicianship standpoint. You know, they give you that heaviness, they give you that, you know, that aggression. So that's kind of what I'm expecting with Walk With Me in Hell. I'm expecting something aggressive. I don't think this is going to be a metal ballad. So let's get to it, man. Shout out to everybody that requested this one.
Yeah, man.
Lamb of God, Walk With Me in Hell. Yeah. Let's run that back because I think we were thinking about different things. We both were impressed with how they dropped in.
Yeah.
Because they started it with these, you know, the riffs, and then they kind of they transitioned into, you know, the next transition, and they dropped in. It was nasty.
That was nasty.
Ryan, you were talking about it sounded like Gojira.
And I know Gojira came after Lamb of God, so probably Gojira is pulling that sound from Lamb of God, probably. But that breakdown to me, my goodness, that reminded me of, I cannot remember the song by Gojira that reminds me of. Maybe it's the Heaviest Matter of the Universe, maybe.
That was a nasty drop-in on that song, too. I don't know if that's what you're thinking.
I don't know. Maybe it was that one, but I know that song by Gojira. I love that part of that song. So when that came in, immediately I went to Gojira, like, oh shit, that reminds me of Gojira. So yeah, that shit was nasty. But I liked the lead up too.
The riffing was listen, it was riffing, bro. Let's start that back up actually.
That fucking guitar, that fucking tone, it's guttural, fly as hell. I mean, you know, that's the only word that comes to mind. That shit just sounds fly as hell. And that drop in was crazy. And even the vocals. Preroll. It just
you had me into the vocals.
Oh no, I think the vocals play a crucial part in the feeling of that groove because it's sinister. It's like, well, I don't even know what he's saying. I gotta look at the lyrics. But he's like, George,
go ahead. But up until the vocals, you know what I'm saying? You know, the vocals aren't taking me out of the song.
It's crazy. Because you don't want to, you know what's funny about that is because we both do that. We both switch places. Sometimes you'll say something, I'm like, I don't want to take his, I know you because you're excited, and I don't want to take that energy away from you, but I'm not really feeling that. That was George's I appreciate the enthusiasm, so I'm not trying to fuck up the momentum of the video, but nah, bro, I didn't like that. That's the face that you got because I've been there, so I know what you mean.
Yeah, I know. But dude, we both can agree that we like what we're hearing overall, though, man. But I wanted to stop it. Yeah, man, that drop in was nasty. But the three, I'm gonna start it back up, and I'm gonna speed it back into the part we're at right now. They started the song with the sort of intense riffs, right, and then they transition again. Yeah. I think those three transitions to start the song just grabbed us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's so important to grab our attention and grab the ear of the listener. Right when they started it like this. Right, boom, and then they transition to this. Then it's and then they transition to this, which is what is really nasty. They are going off, you know, because listen. Me and Ryan were talking just to kind of, give you some insight on our conversation here. They've had some nasty grooves, and I think Ryan had mentioned that. I wish they would live in those grooves longer. So, and I kind of agree with that, but also at the same time appreciate them offering these different looks. Right? They're not staying in these grooves as long, so they're giving us different feels, and I don't think it sounds disjointed, even though they are switching from. They're getting out of these grooves, consistently. They're getting out of the grooves relatively quickly. they'll go boom, they'll switch, and almost all the time when I hear that in metal songs, it sounds disjointed, but they're changing from groove to groove in a way that still feels cohesive. Which is kind of rare from unless you like, I'm not gonna say names, but unless you are like a handful of bands that I've heard in metal, it is very hard for a lot of metal bands to sound cohesive while constantly making changes within the music.
Yeah, I agree with that.
They're doing really well with making changes in the music, even though I agree with you, Ryan, that I do want them to stay in certain grooves a little bit longer, but they're still killing it, which to me sounds like it's really good composing. So this part right here, with this back and forth between the drumming, the double bass, and the guitar work in this is a different look, it's a different feel or sound, while going in, they're just complementing each other so well. So yeah, they're doing their thing, man. Walk with me. Let's shout out the drumming too, though. The guitar work has been if I had to like rank shit, the guitar work has been probably the top of the list here, man, as far as just the instrument. Whoever's on the guitar is going super crazy. Yep. But that drumming though, Chris Adler going off too. Shout out to John Campbell. Yeah. John Campbell on the bass, I'm hearing the bass, and Mark Morton and Willie Adler. Yep, the guitarist on this. Yeah. I would rank it. I'd say guitar work is crazy, but the drumming is sneaking up right here, man. It's new. There's some really nasty feels going on. Buddy. Yeah, exactly. Then he went up an octave. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, they went crazy.
Yeah, Lamb God, man.
Yeah, they went crazy on that one.
Yeah, man. They could play, man. They could play. I was joking with George when we were when we paused it, and they kind of went to another transition where the guitar work. It was like, I'm like, this motherfucker just freestyling it. It sounded like he was freestyling.
Improving
like,
it.
Yeah, like just, like I'm just going to just do whatever comes to mind. I'm just going to just freestyle a little bit, improvisation. But then minute. That's what it sounded like.
Yeah.
I mean, so I'm sure that was part of the plan the whole time in the song, and it was constructed that way. But that's the way it sounded to me. Like, man, let me just get off. And then the drumming the last half of this song, the drum work, man, the drumming in this was incredible, man. It was almost nonstop with the double bass and the cymbal work. I'm like, my God, man.
The drummer like walked down the guitar, because I was saying the guitar work was in first place, but the drumming was starting to walk it down. That's what we said on that. I'm like, it kind of walked you down there, man. So yeah, that's a good thing though. That means everybody is at a high level.
So was that Willie and Chris Adler going back and forth? They grew up fucking competitive and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm guessing they're brothers. They got the same last name, so I'm guessing they're brothers or siblings of some sort. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Chris on the drums, and then Willie and Mark, or Mark. Oh yeah, it's Mark Morton and Willie. So I don't know.
Yeah, who was doing what? But I bet you that was Willie, like boom, like he ain't gonna let Chris get all the shine and shit. Like, okay, boom,
Chris is like, I'm gonna walk you down. Chris said, I'm gonna walk you down though. This is how we're gonna end the song though.
Yeah,
you know
man. So
I just feel like that's the type of song where if you had is this a good metal song checklist, are there constant creative transitions and creative grooves that they're getting into? Great, the solo, high level at least, the solo was played very well.
Yep.
High level solo, constant changes in the music, right? Aggressive, heavy. You know what I'm saying? The vocals weren't annoying, even though I'm not a huge fan of like harsher vocals. The vocals didn't distract me at all.
Yep. Right?
It just feels like it checks a lot of the metal boxes, and you could just hear that it was composed well. You know what I'm saying? Even again, just so many different changes. Never our ears never really got used to anything, which for some people is the highest level you can get in metal. Like I don't want my ear. I don't like repetition for metalheads. I've realized is the end. Y'all don't like a speck of repetition. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you hear something repeated once, it's a horrible song. So I think a lot of metalheads love constant changes in the music, constant sort of things in being introduced to the ear throughout the song. And I think that checked it. It seemed like a lot was going on, but still felt cohesive. It didn't feel like, it was just disjointed in any way. So that was a really dope song by Lamb of God, man. Yeah, they always leave me like they can play their asses off. Yep. Not sure if it's something that I want to revisit. But I am though. I'm gonna revisit that one. It's not like a song that's screaming, I can't wait to play it again. I just really appreciate it. Yeah. But I am gonna play it again. I'm gonna see kind of how that feels, in the whip and all that. But yeah, good song. Yep. By Lamb of God, man. Shout out to everybody that requested that one. It's always a good time. We always gonna go back to them, man.
Yep. I like that one too, man. I'm gonna put that on the playlist. I don't know how long that's going to stay on the playlist, because a lot of times I'll say, man, something's playlist, and then I'll hear it a couple times. I'm like, yeah, it doesn't have the same magic as it had when I first listened to it. So, but I like that. There was a lot of things in that song I liked a lot. I liked the original vocals by Randy when he first came in. When we stopped it, I was like, pray for blood, or whatever he's saying, pray for blood, or is that what he said? Pray for blood? I think so.
Pray for blood is great.
I think that's what he said.
That's what he said?
Yeah, pray for blood.
Damn.
Yeah. But that had a sinisterness to it, while the instrumentation and that groove that it got into, that slowed down tempo, and that pray for, I love that. But then as the song progressed, I didn't really, and as the change-ups happened within the groove and the transitions, I didn't really appreciate Randy's contribution as much as the initial sound. Vocally, it's kind of iffy, so that's why I'm like, I'm gonna give that a couple more spins and see if I can listen to that on the playlist, because I know working out, I think that's gonna go off. I think it's gonna go off on the workout playlist.
I can definitely see that.
So yeah, man.
Yeah, shout out to Lamb of God, man. And this is off of that Sacrament album in 2006, and that also has Redneck on it. And they were getting busy on Redneck as well.
Yeah.
So that album, man. Maybe we need to revisit that on my own time and just see how that feels. But that's the video. If you guys enjoyed it, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Make sure you guys check us out on Patreon. It's a great way to support the channel. The information for that will be in the description. It's also kind of where we are most of the time these days, man. If you want to connect with us and connect with our community, join Patreon, and then you can, connect Discord to our Patreon, and you can join our Discord as well and get involved. But all of that information, again, will be in the description. I'm George. That's Ryan. Lost in Vegas. We out.